Hello everyone and welcome back to Paper Peony. I'm Kimberly Jones and I'm an independent demonstrator for Stampin' Up. Today I have for you the beautiful butterfly bundle. It is found in the new spring mini catalog that you can see on my website, linked down below. And it will be on page, if you're looking for the bundle, it'll be on page 3839. And here is the stamp set and the papers that they've got that pair with it, and some sparkle gems. You'll be seeing updated tutorials from me using both the embossing folder and the dies later on. Okay, so here's what the stamp set looks like closer up. And there is some really cool sayings. I love the font. It's time to celebrate. Hello, in case you need me, I'm here. We'll be using the happy birthday greeting today. They also, on this one, we're not using the stamp part of this except for the happy birthday. We're using the dies that go with this. Here are the dies. This is how Stampin' Up! Will send you your dies if you order dies from them. They're on paper, cardboard with adhesive strips. I usually store mine on magnetic cards from Stampin' Storage, and that is the ideal way to store these because over time, one, it's hard to put them back the way they shipped them, and two, these sticky things will eventually come up. So, but here is what the dies will look like. This is this and the bigger one is the one that we're using today. And then we're also using this label here. I love the fact that there is 2 littles and 2 bodies to go with those little ones because you can punch more than one at a time or die cut more than one at a time. And we're also using this bigger body butterfly. So in upcoming videos, if you've never used our die cut cutting machine, I will be doing a tutorial just on how to use our machine. The other stamp set I'm using today is Elements of Text, and it is on the online exclusive section of our website. And this happens to be perfect if you're needing some kind of background, just to kind of take away from that solid background, to kind of give it a little bit more of a texture look. I love these splotches, and we will be using this today. It's also a cling rubber set, and rubber happens to have its own cushion. As you can see, I've got some of these mounted already, and it makes for a nice stamped image when you go to stamp your image. So I really love the cling rubber, and that's what we're going to be using with this today. Okay, so to get started, this is the card that we're going to be doing, and as you can see, there's quite a dimension. There's quite a pop dimension on this card, and I love dimension and I love bright colors, and so this card speaks to me a lot. So anyway, so we're going to be doing the background part of this first, and we're going to be using basic white cardstock. I love our white cardstock. It's got it feels like a little waxy coating on it, so it stamps beautifully every single time. Okay, and I already have my stamps for the sake of the video. I've already got them mounted and ready to go. I'm using chalk dabbers, and then the ink pads. I used Peach Pie and Berry Burst for the for the text on this. So we're gonna do the Peach Pie first. You can use the Stamp Right markers to do the same concept, but I usually prefer doing that when I've got a real small stamp to coat, or like if I have an image to color in before stamping. This gives me a real nice juicy look when I am using the chalk dabbers and the ink pads. Okay, and then I come in with the Berry Burst. We do sell chalk dabbers. I love them for the fact that you can put them on your finger to use them. And they will look like this when you purchase them through Stampin' Up. Okay, so as you can see, you see the wetness on that. So I'm just gonna go on the dry part and come in with this Berry Burst. Making it all nice and juicy. Okay, once I have it evenly coated, Then I'm gonna huff on it to wetten the peach dye, the peach ink that I had already put on here. Just huff on it a little bit to moisten the ink. And then we're just gonna come in and stamp it right kind of in the center of the basic white cardstock. Okay? And that's what you're left with. So it's got kind of like a, yeah, if you can see that closer up, it's multicolored. So, okay. And because the butterfly is going to cover it, then we're not too concerned about, you know, exactly even coverage and all that. Okay, so next what we're going to do is we're going to take the splotch stamp that is in that stamp set. We're going to stamp, and I just kind of came through here and just kind of did some, you know, splotches, stamp on, stamp off. Some are a little bit bolder than others. Okay, see, like those are bold, and then this was a stamp off version, okay, to give it a little bit of a lighter look. So I did Berry Burst, and then I came in with Pretty in Pink to tie in all my colors. And you want to make sure that you clean off your stamp in between inks. So you're going to come in with the pink, and I'm just going to come up here and do the pale pink or the Pretty in Pink. Okay, and there is what I'm left with. And then I'm going to take a blending brush. Because this is so stark white, I wanted to kind of dull it up a little bit. So I'm going to come in and I'm just going to kind of flick some ink around the edges of my cardstock. And you can do it this way, or you can actually do the circle and kind of blend it more on the outs or in the whole entire center of this cardstock. But I just wanted the edges. And if you want, you can kind of come in here and kind of dull it up a little bit with your ink, your leftover ink. I just didn't want it to be very dark. Okay, so now our background is done. So now we're gonna set that on the side. Now the paper I used for this original, this is actual a designer series paper that was available during Celebration for January and February. But we do have, this happens to be a designer series paper that is in the Ocean Friends collection that's in the mini catalog. It is the Beach Lobster Crab stamp set bundle. And I thought this would go perfect with the colors that I've chosen on this card without having to totally change out the card. So I went ahead and die cut the butterfly, and then I cut the antennas. Here's a butterfly that's left over from a die cut. I cut this straight across here and then kind of curved up and cut the tail off of the butterfly. So then you're left with this, okay? Then you're going to take and you're going to kind of bend this back. Now this is Berry Burst glitter cardstock paper that I used for that second die that I showed you earlier. And we do sell it in a 3-pack of colors. It's the Berry Burst, the Old Olive, and then the Iridescent White. And you can actually use blends on here and color this white a different color if you wanted. So if you don't have use for white, you can always color it whatever color you want. So, okay, so having said that, now what we're going to do is we're going to glue down this little section here. The body here. We're just going to put a couple dots here, not anything strong. Okay, and then we're going to just put that right there in the center like that. Okay. And then you can go ahead and just fold up your butterfly wings, you know, to kind of give it some texture. Just to kind of see where it's going to lay. Then you're going to take the body, and this is Berry Burst cardstock, and you're just going to put like a little bitty dot there and a little bit of glue right there. Not much, because you don't want it to go everywhere once you put it down. Okay, and you're just going to want to put that right there. Just know that it's gluing itself onto glitter paper, so you're going to have to hold it down for a little bit in order for it to adhere. Okay, so there's your butterfly. Okay, and then I went ahead and die cut my label, and this is using some paper from Unbounded beauty collection. I think this is Unbounded Love. I want to say it's actually in the annual catalog, and it's really pretty. It's using all the new in color papers or in color inks. So I did this, and what we're going to do is we're going to have that on the bottom there. But then I used Berry Burst cardstock to emboss my happy birthday. So we have embossing kits that we sell, which is perfect. It comes with this little sachet that keeps the glitter or the embossing powder from sticking everywhere. So you want to rub that on your cardstock. Then you're going to use Versamark, which is a watermark ink, which is clear and it's sticky. And this happy birthday I've already mounted, and I'm just going to come in and stamp happy birthday like so. And then I am going to take my white embossing powder. Now, if you order an embossing kit from Stampin' Up, you'll get a tray and you'll get some tweezers to hold your cardstock, and then you'll get that little sachet to rub on your cardstock. And then you're just going to shake the excess off. You're going to sprinkle it with powder and then excess off. We sell embossing powder in multiples of 3. So if you get white, you'll get black, white, and clear. And then if you order the metallics, you'll get silver, gold, and copper. Okay, so you're left with that. Okay, for those of you who've never embossed. Okay, so then we're ready to heat this, and you will get a heating gun. And you're always going to want to kind of make sure that it's not, you want to get it to the temperature before putting it on your cardstock, so your cardstock doesn't wilt and distort. See how that's turning it to clear or to a kind of like a shiny? Okay, so then you'll know that it's done when it turns to a shiny white. Okay, and then I'm going to come in with my paper trimmer, and I'm going to trim this down like so. And if y'all do not have our paper trimmer, you're missing out, because it's also a scorer. It can score also. This is the cutting blade and this is the scoring blade. So it's like 2 tools in one. Okay, I love it. And it's actually classified as one of the best paper trimmers out there on the market. Okay, and then I'm using our paper snips, and I'm coming in and I am just going to cut like a little tail in a diagonal. And then I'm rotating it around and doing the same with this side. And then that's what you're left with. And now we're ready to piece our card together. Okay, so we're going to pop dot. I call them pop dots, but they're actually our dimensionals. And these are what our dimensionals look like. There's like 300 little hive adhesives on each sheet, or actually 100, and you get a package of 3, so you get 300 dimensionals. Now I love being able, you need to space your dimensionals out when you put these on your die cuts, because if not, over time it's going to warp your paper. So whoever gets your creation, you want to make sure that it's not going to have sunk areas in it. And I'm just going to take a little bit of Berry Burst from that chalk dabber I used before, and just kind of ink the edges to kind of give it a more defined outside. Okay, and you're just going to put that across the back, the bottom, just like that, and make sure it's straight, of course. Okay, then you're going to take this, and I used we have foam strips, which I love because they're perfect for making shaker cards. For those of you that have done those before, you'll know what I'm talking about. And if not, well, then I'll have a shaker card tutorial in the future. But you're going to just line this out like this. Cut that down just a little bit more so it's not overhanging my stamped image. If I can get my paper snips in there. There we go. like so. And then you're just going to put that in the center of your label. Okay, and now we're ready to piece down our butterfly. And this I just had on dimensionals as well. And like I said, you're just going to want to come in here and make sure that you have them evenly put on your butterfly. And I go through the dimensionals, as you can probably guess from looking at my card here. Okay, so you're going to take the backings off. And we do have a really cool tool. It's called the pick tool, and it has a probe on the end or a piercer on the end, and you can use those to pull these off like so, and then that way they're all on this piercing tool, and you can just go straight to the trash with it, which is perfect. I think I have them all off though, except for that one. Okay, and when you have a lot of them on there and you're wondering if you've peeled them off or not, if they look shiny, then they're off, or the peeling is off of them. Okay, and then you're just going to put this in the center of your card like so. Okay, and then the next thing, I have Berry Burst already pre-cut. It's 4 1/4 by 8 1/2, scored at 5 1/2. And this is a tent card, which means it flips up. And I'm going to use my bone folder to crisp the fold. Okay, we're ready to glue this down. Okay, and we're just going to glue that in the center of the card. Like so. You have a little bit of wiggle room if you don't get it on straight, so I like that about the glue, the liquid glue. Okay. Okay, and then I did line the card with basic white as well for when I do send this off. When I'm ready to put a greeting on it, then I'll have it ready to go. I don't usually put a greeting or sentiment on the inside until I know where it's going. Okay. All right, and then we have that lined. And the last thing I used is some embellishments or some gems to put some bling on there. These are from Celebration. These were a free item for a $60 purchase, but you can use any gems that you have. Just stick to the color scheme of your card. And I did the pink ones on this one. These happen to be the Berry Burst color. So I just did 3 of these on here. I always try to stick to odd numbers when doing embellishments. And there you have it. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I hope you love the beautiful butterflies as much as I do. And I will have some other tutorials following this one in the future. So for today, thank you for joining me, and have a great day, and I hope to see you in the future tutorials. Bye-bye.